In August and September of 2017, Hurricanes Harvey and Irma struck the U.S. Gulf Coast and caused widespread damage. How does Schneider respond in an emergency? To find out, we asked the associates in our 2 Houston locations to share their experiences. They started by moving equipment out of low-lying areas, rerouting drivers, and holding crisis team conference calls with associates around the nation.
They immediately rolled out a conference call. We would always start off by verifying that every single one of our associates or even owner-operators were accounted for.
We had to move 50 to 60 trucks that day.
Anywhere we could find some high ground, we were stashing equipment.
We pulled everything up to this area and used every square inch.
Took all the shop computers, laptops, and desktops, and printers and everything, and put them upstairs.
I put in an urgent request for additional wheel seals, oil, the common things that we knew would have to be drained and refilled.
Friday night the storm comes in, we're going dark from this facility.
We were shut down for a whole week.
The flooding starts right away on Saturday. By Wednesday, the whole city was gone.
The rain was constant. It was like it wouldn't stop.
All of us that can work from home are working from home.
I would work remotely from where one of our family members' houses to be able to provide good, efficient communication to my drivers because they were still out there. So I knew I still needed to be on there to help them.
My wife was trying to help her van truckload drivers on one side of the table. I'm trying to lead bulk and help them on the other side of the table.
Keeping 3 kids calm and watching the news, trying to make sure that all your drivers were okay.
We weren't worried about no freight, no work. The mentality was want to make sure you are safe as well as your family.
Most of the thing that they worry about is their job. Am I going to have a job when I get back? Yes, you will.
It was a very intense week that never ended.
Right here, it was way past my head. The whole freeway over here was under, 6 feet of water. If this truck had been parked here, the water would have probably come up to probably about here.
You had the shop personnel on a skeleton crew getting to either shop that they could.
We inspected several hundred trailers. On the tractor side, we had around 15 to 18 units that had significant water.
We were doing wheel bearings for, wheel bearing inspections for a couple weeks.
We had some folks from Harrisburg and some of our other locations that came in to help us out.
On decisions that we made, let us have losses substantially less than what anybody thought was possible during the storm.
Hurricanes Harvey and Irma significantly affected more than 80 associates in Texas and Florida.
The sheriff and the fire department knocked on the door at like 12 a.m. and they told us by 6 we would have at least 4 to 5 feet worth of water.
When the storm hit, I was at home. Once the water started coming, I had to leave.
My wife, my daughter, and myself gathered as much important documents and clothing that we could, put those items into an inflatable raft, and proceeded out of our neighborhood.
We're very used to floods. My house is 14 feet in the air, and my house got 15 feet, so a foot in the house.
Once I returned back home, I was like, wow, oh my God, because the sewage had backed up in my home.
The first thing I seen was my car. It had the water line on it. I walked inside the home, you could see the water line on the wall.
We didn't have just water, we had mud. The walls, the floor, everything.
In true Schneider fashion, associates from around the country banded together and took up a collection raising $35,000 for their coworkers, which was matched, and then some, by the Schneider Foundation.
I got a letter in the mail and saying that I was going to receive $1,000. And I just started crying actually because I was like, man, I can really use this $1,000 to even pay some bills.
I was so grateful for it. I just wish I could thank everybody that gave personally because it was a lot of people affected.
$1,000 can go a very long way.
I don't think I've ever worked for a company that's been so giving.
It made me feel like someone cared.
Things are returning back to normal in Houston, but no one will soon forget how Schneider came together to weather the storm.
The Schneider team came together in an overwhelming manner.
I'm very thankful to work for a company that I do work for. with amazing people.
The Schneider community is still looking out for their associates regardless of where you're at. And I'd like to say thank you.
It's been a trip, but it's been a good one, you know, knowing that I had the support here.
There's no doubt in my mind that when the disaster is going to hit, Schneider is going to be there to hold our backs.
I love you guys. I thank you for helping me, and I'm praying for all of everybody, you know, and I just really want to thank you.